Hello, and welcome to the About Healing podcast, a show created for those on or awakening into their spiritual journeys, and who are ready, wanting, and learning how to heal themselves. I am your host, About Healing medium and certified spiritual healer, Cherie Buckman. It is my purpose to guide others to the path of self-healing and to inspire those on their spiritual journeys in finding their truths. Join me as I share my experience and unfiltered perspective in healing, as well as the incredible wisdom of the loving energy that guides us. Let's begin. Well, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to About Healing podcast. Thank you for joining me, Cherie, About Healing Medium, and Miss Copper is here. Hello.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Who doesn't love to hear that voice every day or every episode? I know I do. Yes. Thank you, Copper.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this week I kind of want to get rolling into the episode because I have a couple of announcements for you guys today and because I have so much to cover. So, yes, you got the teaser of just hearing Miss Copper just for a moment to say her good morning. Thank you. But let's get into it. So, with this being so close to the new month of February, can you guys believe it? Can you believe it? February. We're already ending the first month of the year. I feel like we just got started. I am really overwhelmed in this, but hey, we're in it and we're going. Luckily, we've prepared enough for February to be prepared for this announcement, which is, Miss Rachel. I have her now as part of the team, and she is so excited and taking on the role of really diving into the About Healing shop. She's helping me organize and come up with some really cool ideas and how we can kind of get back to creating these beautiful pieces, or my first intention of creating the shop, which was to have these healing items for people out there. And it kind of got lost in the blender of so much going on, but she's helping me revive it and coming up with these fantastic ideas. And so I am not taking the credit for this and I'm giving it all to Rachel. But she has come up with the idea of doing a monthly highlighted box. And this is awesome. This box is a healing box that has to do either with the topic that we're talking about on the podcast or what I'm creating in this beautiful, purposeful work. So for February, I have actually decided and trying to create a new meaning with February. February is about love, right? It's about being excited about those we love and showing and expressing it. But one thing that kind of gets left behind, especially with those who are not in relationships, or even if you are, there's another important factor we need to focus on, which is about our self love. And so I'm kind of rebranding it, at least within my own world here or within my own business. Um, I'm making February Self Love Month. So to honor that, the shop is putting together a self love healing box. These are going to be available for purchase right there on my website on abouthealingmedium.com. You just go to the shop and you can find this beautiful box there, or you can choose any other items that you want. But this box is going to be created just for that, having healing crystals and other really fun items. And it will be different every month to highlight this awesome new or whatever topic that we're going to bring up, or healing topic. Let me be specific, a healing topic. So, yes, go to the shop and check that out. Available for February only. So, get down there February 1st and have a look. And to continue with the celebration of February, in the self-love month, I'd like to put out there for anybody who is local and around Michigan or around the Grand Rapids area, I am doing a live event. I am doing this at Moon Medicine Therapeutics in Dorr, Michigan. This is a beautiful friend of mine who owns this amazing, charming, beautiful apothecary shop. It is beautiful, great energy, and I am so excited that I get to actually do a live event there. So I've done this before about a year ago, and I'm starting this back again, and the topic for this event is You are the source of your own joy. So, if this is interesting to you and you are around the area and available on February 10th, it's a Saturday, you can find the tickets for this in the shop as well. So, go to abouthealing.com and go to the shop to find all this. So let's get into our healing card for the week that I've started drawing this season. So the one that I drew for this week, everybody, is abundance planning. And again, this is coming out of the Sacred Self Care Oracle. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read the guidebook on abundance planning. Your financial health is an essential aspect of your overall wellness practice. It's time to take a closer look at how you're spending, saving, and making money. To begin, review all your bank accounts, investments, and credit cards, as well as any loans you're carrying. Doing so will help you get clear on your financial status. Then make a practical plan to lower your expenses, increase your income and savings, and repay your debt. An excellent place to start is at your local bank or with a financial advisor. Work with your banker advisor to optimize your accounts to have the lowest fees and highest interest rates possible. In addition, you can get set up with an automatic bill payment, transfer monthly deposits into your savings account, and begin consolidating any debt you may be carrying. The other side of your financial abundance equation is generating more money. When you put your energy towards it, you'll often find new ways to do so. If you're working, this can be achieved by negotiating a raise at your current position. Consider applying for a promotion or a new job, taking on a side gig, or educating yourself on a new topic or skill with income generating potential. If you're an entrepreneur, look into raising your fees or prices, developing new marketing strategies, and expanding your product offerings, as well as other ways to increase your margins. Well, isn't that fun? Hey, everybody, go back into the shop.
I feel like that's super interesting that you pulled that card because this time of year, I feel like that's one area that everybody is reviewing or wondering like what they can do better, what they need to change. Because you've got everyone comes out of Christmas broke.
Right.
But then you're going into, like, tax season. I just feel like this is a time of year where everybody's kinda like that new me
Mhm.
starting, and finances is an area that I feel like gets reviewed a lot. So I think that's interesting that you pulled that up. That's good advice too.
I do too. I think I was shocked when I pulled this card, only because the topic, I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna be something about our topic today." I was like, "Ooh, it could align." And
Yeah.
then this pulled up, and then as I was reading it, I was like,
Nope, that
are
makes sense.
they're speaking to me. Nope,
Yep.
that's it."
Try girl, that's the conversation we've been having in this house, like, "Ooh, what could we be doing different?"
And you're right, it is perfect timing after coming out of the holidays. Yeah, tax return season, where do we wanna put that money and all that kinda
Or where you're gonna get that money considering on what end of the spectrum you're on.
right. Correct. And so I'm actually gonna share this part. There is a journal prompt that goes with this, and I do wanna share it because I think the questions it's asking is really good in questioning kinda how you deal with money. And it is, what was your family's relationship with money like when you were growing up? And the other one is, how has that impacted your relationship with money? Those are really powerful questions because, for anybody who has that struggling with money or anything else, or like savings or spending or your relationship of how you feel about money, those are really good questions. How were you raised about it? And while I would love to go deeper in this, and there will be when it's on my giant board of or of all the topics that I wanna talk about, there is one talking about the energy of money, and we will get there. But this is a really good starter, I guess, this time of year, and I guess this is one we all needed to hear or think about. So there you go. There I go. There we go. Okay, so let's get into the topic because we do have a lot to talk about. This topic today is, to me, writing this, I don't know what I felt. I almost felt this energy, like, just pouring out of me in this. Like, there was this excitement of getting to talk about it, of sharing something so important that I believe all of us need to hear, or getting on in our whole self wellness journey here this season. To be a healer, we have to take time to care for ourselves. And that's kind of been the whole purpose of what I'm starting with here. But before I really get into this and the topic, because when I say that word healer, I've started to realize not everybody feels like that's them, or I'm talking to you in particular. So let's define what that is. Because when I'm talking about a healer, it's not just talking about someone in the line of work that I'm in, about healing medium. I'm a medium or a Reiki master or anything like that. That's not necessarily who I'm talking to. I'm talking to a way bigger category than that. And it's who I also call the light workers of this planet. And those are all of you in these roles that take care of other people. So whether you're a caregiver or you're a parent, a therapist, a teacher, a social worker, customer service rep, so on and so forth, someone who supports and cares for others. I'm talking about the ones who define their sense of purpose in helping others in some way. This is who I'm talking to. So I'm talking about you. And you wouldn't be here listening if you weren't a part of this energy. So when I use the word healer, I want you to know that that's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about all of you. So, one thing about the beautiful work of a healer is our own healing. And so today, I share the most important tool in our whole self wellness process. And actually, there's two parts to this that we're going to talk about today. And the first part is about having a wellness tribe. And the second part is dreadedly asking for help. One thing I have begun to learn over the years, most specifically in beginning this work that I'm doing, is having someone to talk to about what I was experiencing and going through. Because there was so much happening that I needed to talk about, and not only just needed to talk about, like, I needed to talk to somebody who understood it or could listen or without giving me judgments or shutting down on me, giving unsolicited advice, right? It's just like a way to process. As someone who takes on a healer role, right, who we just talked about, again, parent, teacher, all those beautiful roles, is someone who is compassionate and empathetic. These are actually attributes created by our own hardships, trauma, and our own healing, because that is what creates that compassion and our empathy, is because we have an understanding because we've been there. We know what it feels like, and we want to help others from experiencing that because that's what makes you that healer. When we take on these roles, we are not completely healed. So even when we become a teacher or a therapist or even doing like what I'm doing, we are still all in or on our own healing journeys. Whether we are still going through our own trauma and figuring that out, or fighting our own fears and limitations, finding our self worth, our self love, and the courage to stand in our own truths. We're often triggered ourselves looking and figuring out how to come out of it stronger, or honestly, sometimes feeling if we're going to come out of it even at all. So, to me, this leads to a really big question. One, maybe you've probably wondered yourself, who do the healers go to for help? Who do you go for help? What do we do? The answer to this is easy and complicated at the same time. But before I begin the complicated answer, I want to give you the easy one first. That first part of that question, the easy one, who helps the healer? It's each other. It is each other healers. Your wellness tribe are those who are on the same journey as you. They are the ones who understand what you're going through, the feelings, the insecurities, the frustrations, the victories, all of those. For instance, if you are a parent of a child with special needs, who would you go to understand that or to truly help you through that? Well, that would be another parent that has a child with special needs, because you both have an understanding that nobody else does of being in it and the experiences you both have and those feelings, whether it's good or bad, or the shame or the guilt that goes with it, or again, the celebration of the small victories that nobody else would understand except somebody else who has gone through it also. Or whether you're a teacher who gets excited about lesson plans, or a homeschooling parent who gets really excited about lesson plans. Talking to Copper here, yeah, call you out there. but somebody else, another teacher or somebody else that has that same passion. Because who do you share that with? When Copper tells me and she gets geeked out about these lesson plans, like, guess what, Cherie? I got all these books in and I cannot wait to read them. They're about creating my kids' lesson plans. And I'm just looking at her like, first of all, I'm super happy that she's excited because I'm with it and I'm supporting her in that. But also, like, I don't get it. That doesn't get me excited. So the point here, though, and I'm sharing that is sometimes when we have that excitement and we have those victories, sometimes we need to hear it from somebody else who understands to get just as geeked as we are. Even for me, and I can be excited for her because I love hearing her excited and happy that I don't completely understand it. So maybe it's even more powerful that you can go to somebody else who is a teacher or an educator who has just the same passions. That's exciting. The point is finding and surrounding yourself with others who understand you and what you do is so powerful because sometimes we need to vent to regulate. There is also a difference in understanding between venting and complaining. You know, when we have these big moments and even as a parent and we get so worked up with our kids' behavior and all these things, sometimes we just want to call our other friend who's a parent and just start venting. We're not actually complaining, but we need somebody else to understand and we just need to release it, right? We just need to release it. We need someone just to get it. But with that, when we're venting too, we often just need someone to listen and not offer advice. Sometimes we don't need that. We just need the pure understanding and just to know we're not alone or that someone gets it. Or we need someone that we really wanna celebrate those victories with, of what may seem ridiculous to others who just don't get it. For me, as those examples, sometimes I get so excited about this new weight that I squatted at the gym, and who am I gonna tell? Because I tell other people, they're like, "Okay, weird." Just brag to everybody, right? But the person I would go to, that is my gym BFF, because she's gonna share that excitement and that joy and that accomplishment because she understands and she's been there and watching me work towards whatever goal that was. Or it is for me finding the words to express a lesson that I recently figured out. And for me, very recently this has happened. And for me, there are certain people that did that. And this one specifically, it was Tracy that you heard from on the last episode and Rachel. It's interesting how the universe collided and conversations happened, and then we get to share it with each other. It's like, "Look, we get to share that victory." Or for me is another example, totally put this here, the excitement of taking my time to verbally express my excitement on a passionate topic. I can't just call anybody and tell them like, "Guess what? I was talking about this really passionate topic and I slowed myself down." Some people look at me with like eyes big open. They're like, "What?" But Copper's my person. She gets it because she's the one who has been training me in it. That would be my girl here. And sometimes, and other times, we are so far in our own triggers that we need someone we trust and feel safe with to offer perspective or a grounding point to pull ourselves back onto a stable foundation. And this happened to me recently. And to me, this was that powerful moment of having these really big triggers lately that are, while triggers are no fun, and we will talk about more about that in an upcoming episode. To get out of it, or for me to understand, I'm like, I know these happen for a reason. And so, number one, it's to understand where my healing is on the topics of my triggers, but also wondering, like, why was I having so many triggers on top of another trigger on top of another trigger? And for me, it was to understand about what I'm supposed to share with it. It was number one, it was brought the topic up of how deep I was going this season. It was about, well, then I had really paid attention. I knew I had to pay attention. How do I get myself out of a trigger? So I was very aware of that. Who did I talk to? And that was one of the biggest pieces. It was my wellness tribe. And you're going to be hearing from these people this season, those people who I call and talk to when I'm in a triggered moment. And I will get back to the tribe part in a minute because I want to go into the second more complicated answer of who do healers go to, right? Who do healers go to for healing? This is a complicated answer because it doesn't directly answer the question. It's more of a why than a who or a how, I guess I should say, but it's asking for help, right? So it's not about the who we go to, it's about how do we get the help? And it's asking for it. Because to get help requires this one step that most of us shy away from. Why? Why do we shy away from it? Why is it so hard for us in these healing rules to ask for that? And I'm gonna share with the 2 main reasons that I have found in this, or that I've been so guided to share with you in this reasoning. And the first part of it is because as a healer, and this is what I've said to myself, because I can handle it. Because I can handle what's happening because other people count on me to do it, so I know what to do, so I can handle it. Or it's that I'm supposed to know how. So I'm going to work on this all by myself, and I'm gonna figure it out. But says who? And I really wanna ask you that. Says who? Who says that you are supposed to handle it or that you're supposed to know how? Is it you? Did someone tell you that at some point? How did we create that? How did we create this image to think, or this thought basis to think that we're supposed to have to know or to figure it out on our own? As healers, we carry these high expectations of ourselves that we can handle it because we do it for others, or we can take on the burdens of others. So, of course, we can or should be able to handle it on our own. Absolutely not. No, no. And this was a hard lesson for myself to learn too. No, because everybody, including you, need help sometimes. We are not superhuman. We are just as human as everyone else. No matter the roles or the healing work that you take on, you are just as vulnerable and you are just as triggered. You have just as much trauma or just as much energy as everybody else does. And so, yes, we get tapped out and we need to look at this in a different way. We need to start treating ourselves as we do those around us. And the other thing, the second part of that into why we have difficulty in asking for help is because we don't want to be a burden. Again, another one for me to understand in this too. I don't want to be a burden. First of all, that's the one thing that we do for other people. And this is also tied into our vulnerability and our own past experiences, and usually tied to our traumas. Our hardships, our traumas, and problems are not burdens. They are not burdens. This is the power of a wellness tribe. It is about giving and receiving in this balance, okay? We are not burdens. We need the help too, because you are just as worthy of receiving the same amount of help and effort you put into everyone and everything else around you and in your life. That unworthiness or that thought basis is created by you, and it can only be healed and changed by you. It's taking a moment and understanding again, hey, you're still this person who's healing. You still need that energy. You still need all of that. So now it's time to check in with your tribe or your person, right? So what do we do and how do we go about that? When you're doing that, you need to check in with that person. First of all, be clear. Tell them, "Hey, I'm triggered. I really need help. I'm going through something." And tell them what you need. Be specific. "Hey, I just need someone to listen. I don't want advice." Or, "Yes, I need perspective. Can you pull me out of this?" And then you need to ask, are they capable? Because sometimes other people are going through things, may not be strong enough in the moment to be able to help you in that. So it's kinda laying that seed and allowing that person, "Hey, are you in a good place to help me get out of this?" Sometimes they are, and they could totally do that for you, and they're gonna let you know when they can do that, and we need to be okay with that too. Asking when a good time may be. And if they're not available, that's why you have a tribe. This is why you have a tribe. And you go and you ask the next person, because one of them absolutely will be. So let's talk about picking your wellness tribe. Okay. You're going to pick those who are compassionate and understanding of your situations, those who understand it, those you can relate to, those who don't judge you and know what you're going through, those who can give you a balanced relationship. And this is really important in a tribe. This is not just a one way. These are not people you take care of. Okay. These are ones that can give you that time in return also, where you can do exchanges and say, "Hey, I need help. Do you have a minute?" And when they can call you back and say, "Hey, I need your help. Can you help me?" Yes, it goes both ways. Now, please understand that it's not always going to be balanced all the time, because one of you could be going through a rough patch, needing more from the other for a period of time. but who will be there when the other one needs their time. And then it's important to check in with each other. If you have a thought, if you're intuitive too, and you think of this person, you should pick up your phone, do a quick text. Hey, thinking of you. How are you? Because just that is so powerful in its own, and it makes people not feel alone and safe to express themselves. So sometimes we want to do that for each other. And then I just wanted to say, in this, know that this is why and how I created the About Healing retreat, because I am been here. I've done this before I creating my wellness tribe. How do I meet these other people who understand me? How do I meet these other healers who, have these moments and understand what we're going through? And along this journey, I have found so many, and that they are just as willing and needed the same thing that I needed. Sometimes it might take you a minute to find that tribe. But again, I'm kind of creating this time and space where you as a healer can come and find that. Because the About Healing retreat is there to inspire you with the messages from others who understand and know how hard it is to be a healer and to be human. It is about networking with other healers and light workers, creating your tribe, and healing together to bring you to the highest and brightest self to continue to share that light with your world. The work of a healer is not for the faint of heart. You are all huge, amazingly warm and bright souls who are here to change the world. And not just by the amount of energy or the amount of yourself you give to others, but by the balance of what you put into yourself too. Your healing matters, probably more than you think or realize. A healthier you creates a bigger, more powerful energy within you to reach more people or make a bigger difference in even one life. People seeing you happy makes them happy and wondering how they can get there too. Your healing inspires. Your happiness inspires. So I'm hoping that these words helped you today. And maybe you are assessing what your tribe looks like. Maybe you don't have these people that are just as compassionate or that you can reach out to. So now you put that intention out there into the universe and say, I'm looking for my people. Where's my tribe? And if you want a place to look or a place to start, come see us at the About Healing retreat because my tribe is there speaking too. My tribe will be present also, and my tribe could possibly be a part of your tribe. So take a look at About Healing for the retreat. Go to abouthealingmedium.com/retreat for more information. And until next time, you beautiful souls, be kind to yourselves. With so much love and gratitude, I want to thank you for listening to this week's episode. My hope today is that the message continues to guide you along your path to healing. To learn more about me and my purposeful work, visit my website at abouthealingmedium.com. You can also follow About Healing Medium on Facebook and Instagram, where you can find the episode's healing guidance, quotes, tips, insights, and chances to win free stuff. To ask a question or to share comments, email me at abouthealingpodcast@gmail.com, or feel free to reach me on Facebook and Instagram at About Healing Medium. Until next time, be kind to yourself.